As Louisville celebrates Juneteenth, there is a special event shining a light on a fascinating figure whose story deserves to be better known. The Legacy of York honors the enslaved man who played a vital role in the Lewis and Clark expedition and spent much of his life right here in Louisville. The free community event will feature historical tours, live music, poetry, conversations to celebrate York's contributions and legacy. Joining us today is, of course, Dr. Vanessa, Dr. Terry, and, of course, WHS 11 and GDL legend. We've got Rachel Platt in the house today. Thank you, ladies, so much for coming on the show today.
Thank you for having us.
You know, we've got a jam-packed show today, but of course we need to highlight all the great events happening for Juneteenth. It's happening this Friday. But tell us about York's background and, you know, this vital role that he played in the expedition that we know today.
Yeah, I mean, he's oftentimes just a footnote,
yeah,
but was as epic as everybody else on that journey. And like you said, spent a lot of his time in Louisville. That's why we're having it at George Rogers Clark Park. Mm-hmm. He was the enslaved servant of William Clark. That was his boyhood home, but York existed there as well. So that's why we wanted to pay tribute to him and do it there. And who better to do that with people like Ed Hamilton,
right,
who did a sculpture at the Belvedere, Frank X. Walker, who's written 2 books, and Jim Holmberg from the Filson, who's done extensive research on York. It's all about York and getting his due.
Mm-hmm. And this is a huge collaboration effort. I mean, the Frasers involved, the Louisville Metro government's involved. I mean, the mayor is really backing all of these Juneteenth events, which is so great to see. And so this is going to be really powerful. You mentioned like Ed Hamilton's going to be there, Frank X. Walker's going to be there, and others. So what kind of perspectives are they going to share with those who attend?
Just so everybody knows, we're going to have a tour of the property with the Filson. Ed is going to talk about his inspiration for York. If you know anything about Ed Hamilton, it's almost spiritual,
yeah,
when he does these sculptures. His connection to York, his studies, what he learned about him. You know, there are no pictures of him, so what he did, what he looked like, his contributions. He hunted for that expedition, all sorts of things. And then, of course, with Frank X. Walker, his written poetry from York's perspective. So it will be inspirational, emotional, and I think more than anything, you're going to learn something about someone who, like I said, has usually been a footnote, but shouldn't have been.
Right, definitely should be at the forefront, and we're so excited that you're kind of bringing this up. And again, this is in huge partnership with so many people. And so why is it so important to have events like this to really showcase that history?
It's important so that the community understands the significance not only of Juneteenth, but the legacy of York. And we really appreciate Mayor Craig Greenberg providing the funding to allow all these Juneteenth events to take place, and a great opportunity to partner.
Mm-hmm. And of course, you know, the adults can certainly come out, but you're also encouraging the young ones to come out so we can kind of move these stories forward and, of course, look back on them too. Why is it so important to kind of share this among all the generations?
Yeah, this year was especially important for the commission. One of the things that we also did was we engaged high schoolers. So we put out a call to high school students for our essay contest, and it was an inaugural event. And for that event, we had a huge turnout for that. But again, it was an opportunity for young people to reflect and to research and to have a better understanding of what Juneteenth means.
Mm-hmm. And so reading those essays, what were some of those themes that kind of kept coming up through these high schoolers' work?
Yeah, well, one of the things that we wanted to do was make sure that students in the part of their research, that they were looking for how that could also be a catalyst for change in the future. Mm. And so those lessons learned from the past is what we saw throughout those essays. We really were excited to see young people talking about how they can make an impact in the future, especially in our community.
Well, again, like looking back on history to learn from all of that so we can move forward. And those high schoolers, they do have a voice. They might not realize it, but they certainly do. And so, you know, this is an event for really everyone. You don't have to be a big history buff to attend this, right?
No, it's all about learning and connecting. It's free and open to the public. And you don't get history lessons like this often with people like Frank X. Walker and Ed Hamilton, for heaven's sakes. So again, it's at George Rogers Clark Park. That's right across from San X High School. Come in by the tennis courts and you'll see us there.
All right, there you go. Can't miss it, right?
Right.
All right, this is one of many events happening Juneteenth. We are actually featuring one a little bit later on in the week with the Kentucky Opera, which we cannot wait to have that conversation too. But ladies, thank you so much for stopping by today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, to learn more about this event and all the others that are happening this week, you can head on over to louisvilleky.gov to learn more.